This meeting is now being recorded.
Okay, we will try this again. Riqiang from Beijing talking about uncertainty and China's strategic posture. So please.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the problems. My work is something to do with mathematical models and calculate the China's nuclear retaliatory capability. So why I'm doing this? Because I often argue that China's nuclear posture is kind of certainty of uncertainty, which means if the other side, America, has a first strike against China, Chinese leader does not have full confidence, which means 100% confidence of nuclear retaliation. So there's an uncertainty. So I would say this kind of uncertainty is not to deter. So I will calculate this kind of uncertainty in the history, discuss a little bit on the what I'm going to do is first one, build a mathematical model, and the second one discuss the impact of first factors, so which is important. And the third one discuss the history and the future of China's nuclear retaliation. So here, a picture about China's the evolution of China's nuclear capability. So here's the talking points of the perceptions of this China's nuclear capability. We'll discuss later. So I will discuss three scenarios. All the three scenarios represent important turning points in history. So 1984, China Soviet. 1984 important because in that year, Chinese leader became confident of China's nuclear retaliation. So basically, before 1984, the Chinese leader never talked about China's nuclear retaliation. We can do that. The second scenario is 2000 was China-US. 2000 because before that, in 1999, China-US relations had embassy bomb and the COVID report. So my argument is that after 1999, China-US became potential for the worst race. And the last one is 2010 of China and US. This is because in 2010, American nuclear posture review said America will maintain China-US stability. So we'll use 2010 as a big line. In 2010, America recognized China-US strategic stability. So we will discuss in the future America will deploy something and how this activity could influence the strategic stability, and how can China to restore the strategic stability. 2000, first of all, nuclear retaliation, one warhead enough. I know this is how to say, this is a little bit strong, but it's convenient for me to calculate. Secondly, it doesn't matter if you do this is too low. It's fine. You will know that. It's that later. The second assumption is that the specific number doesn't matter. So I will tell you that my evaluation about 2010 China's capability. I'm not arguing that this is the real number. zero number. But the number doesn't matter. The change of the numbers makes so American or China's strategic capability could influence this number, and how China can do something to restore the strategic deterrence capability. This makes sense. This is the numbers of China's nuclear missiles. So for Soviet Union, all the missiles will be considered. But for American, because I will only consider those missiles that could target continental United States. So the DM5 and the DM31 will be considered in the model. Other missiles cannot target continental United States. Next is
Riqiang, can I ask you a question? Riqiang, can I ask you a question? Can you go back to that slide? I'm a little confused about the assumptions you're making here. In 1984, only the DF5s could reach the United States. Is that right?
1984 is not about the United States. 1984 is about the Soviet Union.
It's about the Soviet Union. Okay.
Yeah. So the 2010 is about the United States.
Right. Once you get to the DF31 and the DF31A, which could reach the U.S.
The DF31 cannot target continental United States. Can only reach Alaska. So it's not considered.
Okay. So it's really the DF31A then.
Yeah. Only DF31A and the DF5.
Okay. Thank you.
And I assume in the time and American or Soviet Union will allow a surprise attack against China. And probably we'll say this is unlikely or this is not the case. I'm not arguing that way. This is just the methodology we use to evaluate the structural stability between China and Soviet Union and the United States. I'm not arguing that American or Soviet Union is going to do this, or this is likely. So, something is about China's nuclear approach. Maybe the most important character of China's nuclear approach is that in peacetime, most of the warheads will be stored in a special base. In other words, in peacetime, nuclear warheads will be separated from missiles. So they are separated and stored in different bases. So there's one warhead base. Most of the warheads will be stored in the base. And there are also several missile bases, and the missiles are there. So I assume so only half of the warheads are co-located with missiles. That's the co-located, not the rocket. And most of the warheads will be stored in the warhead base. So this is probably the most important factor of China's approach. And there are three levels of missile bases. The tactical. Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It sounds like Ken Hua's having trouble.
Yeah, I'll continue anyway. There are technical sides and forward sides and advanced sides. So basically, in peacetime, most of missiles will be stored in technical sides, and some of them on combined duty. Our combined will be dispersed in forward sides. Not much, but I think some of them, and the outside will only be used before now. So there's also a warhead base. This is the most tricky part of this research. That is how to know the probability, detection probability of China's different missiles, different species. I don't think I can give mathematical way to do this. So it's really hard to do that. So my solution is I just give the relative difficulty of different of the detection of different bases, and then I just give number, and then I will do sensitivity analysis. So the warhead base in the missile silos are the edits. Something that kind of the edits. The detected probability is the highest. I would say almost certain. So close 100%. And the technical side, because you use the technical side every day, so probably the detected probability is high. The forward side, you do not use it in peak time a lot. You do not use it a lot. So medium. And last side, you do not use it in peak time at all. So it's really helpful. Again, and then for US missile defense. First, I will assume American for interceptor as one warhead. And I give two factors of the missile defense capability. The first one is the reliability. The second one is time discriminated. The reliability means if you identify the real warhead, can you destroy the warhead? The type discriminated means there are warheads and can you identify the real warhead? So currently, I assume in 2010 the type discriminated is low. The capability is low, and the reliability we can got the number according to the test history. So it's 50% and 10%. And I assume in the future there are I consider two scenarios: better missile defense and much better missile defense. So the America will solve the problem of reliability. So the reliability will be much better. They're pretty good, and the target discrimination will get better and a little bit better. So let's see the results. In 1984, so the SS-18 is a much better weapon than SS-20. So I will use SS-18. This is the number, and the hundreds of Chinese silos is assumed to be 900 PSI. And so we consider all the missiles because all the missiles could reach the Soviet homeland. So the probability of retaliation is pretty high, 89%. So if you look at the number, if you just consider F4 and F5, which means just those missiles that can reach Moscow, the number will be much lower. It's 34. In my work, I will use the first one, 89%, because this is also assumption is that you can retaliate against the homeland of the Soviet Union. That's enough. You don't have to target Moscow. I know maybe a little bit straw. We can discuss that.
Sorry, just to make sure, because the language is a little difficult, can you, you're saying here the 34% is against Moscow and the 89% is against anywhere in the Soviet homeland?
Yes.
Okay, good.
So this is 2000. You know, the American Trident 25 is very good for weapon. So against Chinese silos, and the hundreds of silos is a little bit higher, 2,000 PSI. So the three warheads of one silo, basically you got almost 100%. So you can have three silos. So you put all 20 silos together, you still only get 0.4% probability. So this is the DF5 against the homeland. So the DF4 is about 1. If you consider you can target 1, then the probability is high, 37%. But again, I will use the retaliation against homeland. So this is the 0.4%.
And this is because the DF5 is in silos and the DF4 is not.
Yeah, it's DF4 is little bit better.
Yeah.
So in 2010, China deployed the DF1A. So because the DF1A is a mobile missile, so it is much better. The survivability is better, so because 50%. So everything together. So in 1984 is 89%, because 2000 is very low. And in 2010 it's 50. The 53% is without consider missile defense. So if we consider missile defense is 47%. So this is interesting because this picture gives you the probability of different numbers driving. So the 43% is the probability that at least one warhead survives. So this picture gives you the probability of one warhead survive and two warheads survive, three warheads survive, blah blah blah. So if they are 1, 2, 3, so more than three warheads, the probability will be very low. That's the sensitivity analysis. My baseline is that 16 missiles are dispersed in forward side in peacetime. So we consider if China disperses more missiles to forward side, then the probability of retaliation will be high. This is the two numbers. First one is the kill probability of underground facility. This is the missile sites, most of them are underground facilities, them tunnels, the kill probability and detection probability. So if you believe particle could easily detect and kill Chinese, then Chinese nuclear Chinese probability of replacement will be pretty low. The other way, if you think it's difficult to find and to kill Chinese tunnels, and then the number will be higher. So the yellow one is my baseline. So again, it's okay. You can assume a number and get your result. It's okay. So this is the target discrimination. So my assumption is 10%. So Americans can do much better work. So this is the if the discrimination probability is 50%, then the Chinese nuclear retaliation is 25%. Here's mobile missiles. What if Americans could detect Chinese missiles that are moving from one side to another side? So this is important for mobile missiles. So if America can do a pretty good job in detecting mobile missiles, then the number will be much lower. And let's discuss the future. People focus on missile defense, American missile defense. The two big pieces. First one is better missile defense, and the second one much better missile defense. So let's see, what would happen if missile defense is much better? Is better. So this is the target discrimination probability, and the reliability is 90%. So let's see, target discrimination probability is better than China's nuclear retaliation will be almost neutralized. So what can China do to restore nuclear deterrence? First one, for better missile defense, China could first more missiles to forward. Then you can see this is the line 1/6, and China disperses 50%. Almost you can reach the current level in 2010. But I have to say, technically, it's difficult to maintain multiple missiles in forward side because you always need to do maintenance and that. cannot disperse many missiles in forward side a lot of time. Second one is to deploy more missiles. Currently, we have two BL-31A brigades. So if the defender can deploy more missiles, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can see the need to deploy 5 missile brigades to reach the same level of deterrence in 2010. Another way is to deploy more hands on BL-31A. The BL-31A is not a multiple more missile, and we can just probably the missile is called BL-41 or whatever. We can just assume it is for BL-31A. Basically, you can see currently it would 5 warheads for every BL-31A to return the 2010 level. This means about 120 warheads.
Can you explain on this graph what the red line is?
Red line is the 2010 level, the 47%. This means
okay.
This is the 2010 level. So basically, this is you do it. Then this you have to return to the 2010 level.
Mm-hmm.
So this picture tells you that you can merge the BL-31A, then to return to the 2010 level. And this one tells you that if you merge the BL-5, the silo-based BL-5, it's nothing. It's useless. Because you understand that because the 5 silo is vulnerable. It's useless if you put more on that. Because it's almost zero, not no shade. Another way is, another way is to decentralize the warhead storage system. So this is in 2010. If you this is the first one is centralized, means the current practice, and the second one is centralized. So basically, if you decentralize the warhead storage system, you always have a higher number. So the problem is that the risk of accident also will be high. Okay, I didn't get the. I just gave the better missile defense. For time limit, I didn't give the much better missile defense. You can imagine that you need more missiles and more warheads. So the first one is that China's nuclear retaliation cannot be assured. So to apply the standard of assured retaliation, China's nuclear retaliation cannot be assured. The second one is China's centralized warhead management system makes China's nuclear forces very, very vulnerable. So the good news is that it could reduce the risk of accidental outages. But the bad news is it makes the arsenal vulnerable. The second one is the future. Americans could go missile defense and could do better replenishers and surveillance capability to undermine China's nuclear retaliation. So this is the two technical fields that China should observe very carefully. So what can China do? So basically, China can get more missiles to forward side and more missiles and decentralize the warhead storage system and moving those mobile missiles. Finally, the silo-based moving silo-based missile is not good for today. I think this is the last slide. Okay, so basically, say American is getting better and better missile defense, and probably probably you will see China's nuclear arsenal is bigger, getting bigger and bigger. So this is kind of a first arms race. I also like that China and the U.S. could reach some kind of common understanding to avoid this arms race. Currently, I'm pessimistic and do not believe we can reach that. Both America and China have some problems. For American side, America always say they will not accept any limits or missile defense capabilities. So this is not good news for China's policymakers. And for China's side, China always very, very reluctant to be more transparent. So this is bad news for American policymakers. So currently I'm pessimistic, and I believe probably we will see kind of arms race between China and the U.S. I stop here. I'm sorry for the technical problems.
Yeah, well, on your last slide, the audio became much clearer, ironically. So people may want to be able to follow up some questions. I had one question about the DF-31, sort of a technical question. My sense was that it would be difficult to MIRV the DF-31 just because its throw weight is not very high, unlike the DF-5. Do you know if that's true?
Yes. Yes, that's true. I use the DF-31A just it's easy. So it could be DF-41 or whatever. What I'm just saying is that you move the mobile ICBM.
Right, and the problem with, so China has been MIRVing its DF-5s, but the problem is that you're saying they're vulnerable in the silos.
Yeah, it's useless. I think it's useless.
Another question I had was, so you talked about one of the things that China could do would be to disperse its tells. Part of the conclusion, I thought that you reached that conclusion partly because some of the forward sites were not as detectable. But if you had more tells and more activity at those sites, might those sites become more detectable and therefore you lose some of the advantage?
Yes, I agree. But still, I believe the forward side should be, a little bit difficult to detect than the central side. Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree with you.
And the final thing that I wanted to comment on is just that your analysis sort of suggests something that I know we've talked about, which is one of the questions about why China is concerned about THAAD deployments. And one of the arguments we've heard is that it's not so much the capability of the THAAD itself as much as an indication that the U.S. is really looking at developing a global missile defense system. Do you think that's right? Is that the way you think China is viewing this issue?
Yeah. China and the U.S. have different evaluation of the detection capability of the THAAD radar. And the American side believe it is not too high, like 800 kilometers on 1,000 kilometers. And the China side believe it could be as high as 1,500 kilometers. So if you consider that, then from China's perspective, the THAAD radar could see some of China's ICBM trajectories. Not all of them, some. So that means American could get better target discrimination capability.
And actually, that one last question I had about this was this. One thing this would suggest is that China. It would make sense from China's point of view to really try and get its submarine program up and running in a robust way. Do you have any comment about that, or what some of the problems are?
In my research, I didn't consider the submarines because I believe it's noisy, and I believe Americans have pretty good anti-submarine capabilities. So my argument is it's good to deploy a summary if the summary is very, very required. But if not required, we'd better not deploy it at all.
And even in the coastal regions, where even if it's a little bit noisy, it would be, in bastions, it just wouldn't be targetable in the same way.
Yeah. Yes, technically it is true. The coastal area would be hard to detect the submarines. But it's also difficult for China to operate the submarines.
Uh-huh.
So I think Chinese Navy will have different view from me. I think my guess is the Chinese Navy maybe they want to deploy that submarine. But my argument would be we should not do that. We could use the submarine as a training platform, but not operational system.
Mm-hmm. And I guess even in the
sorry.
I was going to say the comments you made about missile defense are a problem even if you have secure basing.
Yeah. And another problem is if you deploy a noisy submarine, then in a conventional war, you will have to deploy some of your conventional Navy capability to protect your SSBNs. So it's a waste of capability. So my argument is you want to deploy SSBN, it's fine. Your SSBN should be very quiet and it can operate, depend its own self. It doesn't need other naval forces to protect it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do we have any other questions? You can either send probably the easiest thing is to send a chat and I can hook you in. So you see Laura's question, whether or not.
Not yet. I'm working on the paper. I'm still working on it.
Okay. I think a number of people would be interested to see that when it's ready.
Yeah.
Unless there's another question, I just want to say I think this kind of analysis where you basically say we can learn something about trends even if we can't say something about specific numbers, and the trends can be alarming and tell us what we need to be doing is a very interesting way of doing this analysis. And I'm sorry we had some problem with the audio, but I really appreciate you giving this, and we all are looking forward to taking a look at the paper when you get that put together. So thank you very much, and we'll talk to everybody later.
Mm-hmm.